hold on to your Pokeballs, because this week we're taking an up-close look at one huge cockfight. Hello Internet, welcome to Game Theory. When it comes to improving your mind, this show is super effective. Part 1 of our Pokepalooza proved that Pikachu is, in fact, not the spawn of Satan with a secret plan to lure young gamers into a Darwinian cult. Phew! I knew I was worried that my children might be learning about well-substantiated scientific theories. But these adorable pocket monsters aren't out of the woods just yet, because this week we're checking out Pokemon as Bloodsport. When parent groups rage against these games claiming that they depict violence towards animals, are they right? Are trainers just glorified animal abusers? It's a concern that was even addressed directly through the villains of Pokemon Black and White, Team Plasma, a team whose philosophy was to free all Pokemon from their supposed human enslavement. Are these Renaissance Fair wannabes really evil, or are they just the first ones to speak some sense in the Pokeverse? Strap yourselves in, because this week is going to get a little unexpected. Yeah, I deserve it this time. First, let's break down exactly what happens in a Pokemon battle. Two trainers enter a one-on-one duel. Each has a team of pocket monsters at their command that have been specially trained so that they're the strongest possible fighters. Some have even been bred to battle. The two animals then take turns biting, tackling, and body slamming each other until one faints. Along the way, they cause each other status effects, including burns, poisoning, and even paralysis. Once an entire team is collapsed, the other trainer is declared the victor and receives a set amount of Poké-Dollars as a prize. Walk 3 steps, cross another bug catcher's line of vision, repeat the process. Battle until your Pokemon need a trip to the hospital where Nurse Joy can give them some TLC. Now compare this to real-world blood sports, where violence between animals is turned into competitive entertainment. The two most known blood sports are cockfights and dogfights, but betta fish, crickets, canaries, and even spiders are other common combatants. Like in Pokemon, the animals are specially trained and bred to be fighters. For example, any of you with a terrier for a pet, especially a bull terrier, your pet's ancestral heritage lies with being bred to win in dogfights. Training will often entail beatings and starvation to make the animal fiercer in the ring. Matches are most often one-on-one and can be either lethal or non-lethal, with dogs biting each other, betta fish slamming their bodies together, spiders poisoning and paralyzing each other. At the end of the match, the winning trainer receives prize money. Afterwards, stitch up your injured Pokemon, a dog or chicken, so that they can fight on another day. Capturing, breeding, and training animals to battle each other until one can't fight anymore, then winning prize money at the end? Sounds awfully familiar. The only redeeming factor for Pokemon is that there are no negative medical effects to frequent fainting spells. But that's only if you overlook the fact that a Pokemon is electrocuted with lightning bolts, scorched with flamethrowers, wrapped in vines, and shot by high-pressure water pumps until they can no longer remain conscious. And if there's any question of whether these attacks actually hurt the Pokemon, I refer you to my favorite episode of the anime, The Battle of the Badge, where the rules are just a little bit different. I'll let James explain.
In that box, the trainer feels all the pain the Pokemon feels.
Not so eager to battle now, are you?
Just think, if every battle had this feature, trainers wouldn't be nearly so eager to throw down their balls. And if forcing your favorite pet to get dragon beamed for the 20th time wasn't bad enough, what about animal neglect? A neglect inspired by the gotta catch 'em all mentality. Who else uses their Wobbuffets or their Mime Juniors? How about Pichu or that entire alphabet of unknown? But you have them simply because you had to complete your collection. And what are they doing now? just sitting in their collection box, stuck in that tiny little ball, an eternity of solitary confinement when they could be out roaming in the grasses and caves, stepping around the hundreds of fainted caterpies, ratatas, and pidgeys left there by level-grinding trainers. Wild Pokemon with no trainer to take them to Nurse Joy. Cruel. Just cruel any way you cut it. There's no positive spin here, no amount of research that can make this look good. Team Plasma and parents are right. Pokemon are slaves to their trainers. Ash Ketchum, you, sir, should be ashamed. But does that make Team Plasma the true heroes? Remember, they said that they want to free Pokemon and thus place them on equal footing with humanity. But how do they achieve this goal? By battling Pokemon. Ideology fail. But apart from engaging in obvious hypocrisy, they also use theft, subliminal messages in people's dreams, and threats of worldwide violence to achieve their end. This seems pretty extreme. Let's look at how real-world animal rights activists would deal with this issue. Like PETA, People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals. Their campaigns are often humorous, like offering free veggie burgers to the town of Hamburg, New York if it changes its name to Veggieburg, New York, or making a Flash parody of the game Super Meat Boy, Super Tofu Boy. They've even taken my approach to using sex to sell their message, featuring scantily clad females and starting their own softcore pornography site. Alright, even I haven't gone that far. Oh, but it says here that they've also presented photo exhibits comparing slaughtered animals to Holocaust victims. And then there's their comics like Your Mommy Kills Animals, propaganda that's clearly targeting children. Well, aside from occasionally throwing red paint on fur coats, their methods are entirely legal. But maybe we should look at a different group. This looks good. ALF, the 80s beer-swilling alien sitcom star. Sorry, Google result fail. The ALF, or Animal Liberation Front, the self-proclaimed underground railroad of animal protection. Their methods are illegal, stealing animals from farms and labs, and destroying facilities. But their stance is strictly non-violent, avoiding any harm to humans at all costs. Good. But not all ALF members agreed that humans should be protected. As a result, some members of the extreme end of the group have branched off to form a separate arm named ARM, the Animal Rights Militia. Their first act was sending bombs in the mail to... Sending bombs in the mail to 5 British parliamentary leaders, including then Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher. Subsequent attacks have used car bombs! Even more bizarre tactics have them robbing the graves of former leaders of animal testing labs and even poisoning food products across large supermarket chains? Team Plasma was moderate by these real-world standards. So the take-home question is this. Where do you draw the line? Clearly, Pokemon trainers are wrong by making animal violence a sport, but Team Plasma is in the wrong too, using illegal methods, threats of violence, and brainwashing to forward their ends in much the same way the ALF, ARM, and PETA have destroyed company property, attacked governmental leaders, and tried to brainwash children. Yes, you're defending creatures that can't defend themselves, and yes, clearly animal abuse is a horrific practice, but how far is too far? Is relying solely on legal methods of change a fruitless endeavor? There's so many questions, and personally, I'd love to sit here and discuss these ethical dilemmas, but I've got steaks on the grill. Join us next week for Pokemon Part 3 as we look at Hitler. In the meantime, remember, it's all just a theory. A game theory. Can someone pass the A1?